As the WVU Medicine Jackson General Hospital countdown to kickoff continues, we say hello. Brian Johnson here with longtime analyst Jeff Waybright for the call of tonight's game. Jeff, good to be with you again.
Brian, good to be back. Got a one-game winning streak going here for the Vikings.
And it's senior night, so a special night here at Memorial Stadium. But we'll look back at last week's performance. Pretty good Viking offensive performance aside from 5 turnovers. I can't remember the last time I've seen a team win a football game after having 5 turnovers. Just a big win, and finding a way to get it done was very impressive.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, Brian. You know, when you come out and put the ball on the turf like we did and still come away with a victory, it doesn't happen very often, but we just got things going in the second half, forced a couple fumbles on consecutive kickoffs, took the ball down, scored some touchdowns, and just pretty much wore St. Albans out. You know, they played a very, very good football game in the first half, came out fired up, were ready to play. They're looking for their first victory and still are, but the Vikings took care of business in the second half and got a decisive victory.
Yeah, and a lot of that was in part to Noah Casto's efforts. 214 yards on the ground. He had tweaked his knee previous week, sat out the week prior, came back in a big way last week.
Probably the best thing he did was setting out in that Roane County game and not taking a chance of getting hurt or re-injuring that knee, getting a little bit of rest. And I'm telling you what, man, he was dynamite last Friday night. Gashed him early and often. You know, he's not a big brute of a running back, but he runs hard and he hits the hole very quickly, and he gets in the secondary. He can make people miss, and he's not afraid to take on contact, not a bit.
You look at this tonight's opponent, Jeff. Coach Ray Lee, head coach of the Greenbrier East Spartans, brings a young team to Ripley, and a team, Jeff, that's been decimated by the transfer portal. They lost their best player, arguably would have been a Kennedy Award winner this year, tailback Ian Klein. He's playing at Providence Day College. It's high school, but maybe we'll call it college, in Charlotte. And they lost 5 key players to Greenbrier West. Ouch.
Yeah, they've turned Greenbrier West into a powerhouse down there with this transfer portal or whatever you want to call it. But, yeah, they got well very, very quickly, and it decimated. I look at the player chart for Greenbrier West, and I see a lot of sophomores out there, including a sophomore quarterback. And you know how important it is to have some experience at that position. They've got some skilled players that are sophomores also. Their line pretty much senior dominated, but skill positions. And because of that, Brian, they haven't been able to even play a JV schedule. Can't, you know, take a chance of getting those kids hurt. And you can only play so many quarters every week. So it's really affected this Greenbrier East team.
Carter Hamilton steps in. He's a senior in place of Ian Klein. Those are big shoes to fill, Jeff. He ran all over the Vikings previous 2 seasons.
Yeah, he's 5'10". He's a 185-pound senior, runs hard, and not afraid to stick his nose up in there. If he gets into the secondary, he can be a load, Brian. So Vikings have got to get him early before he gets a head of steam up and shut him down, because he's going to be the key here tonight, I believe.
Coach Ray Lee will have the Spartans ready to play tonight. Jeff, they're always ready to play when they play the Vikings. They've won 4 of the 7 matchups against the Vikings, including the previous 3. And the last 2 were by 30-plus points.
Yeah, they got on a roll. I remember our last trip down there, Brian, and, you know, we thought it should have been a pretty good game that night, and they kind of handled us. And, you know, they've had good special teams. They've had good offense, defense, good running backs. I mean, they've had the whole package. Kind of dominated us here recently. So Vikings looking to turn the table here tonight and come home with another victory and make it 2 in a row.
Jeff, we all remember the last time we played on this field here at Memorial Stadium. There'll be 9 seniors tonight doing that. Hopefully we can send them out with a special memory here this evening.
Yeah, special night here tonight, senior night, watching these young folks be announced, young men and women down there. And It's very emotional, and that can work both ways. You know, you can come out too high sometimes, or it can be a distraction. But I think our kids will be ready. We've got enough junior leaders out there on the field, you know, to kind of keep things in check, and I think we'll be ready to go.
All right, Jeff, we'll step out and we return to Ripley High School. We'll have more of the WVU Medicine Jackson General Hospital countdown to kickoff. When we go down to the sideline and check in with Phil Iman when we return right here on C98, The Bull.
At this time, we invite you to stand and remove your hat as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem. And now, the Ripley High School alma mater.
Jackson General Hospital countdown to kickoff continues. We get onto the sidelines to check in. It's my main man, Phil Iman. Phil, you're my best friend tonight, man. You had some wings up here for me, and they are bone-in wings, and they would have all been gone had you not done your part. Tip of the cap to you, my friend.
Brian, I got to tell you, of all the things that people talk about during the week between games and people stop me at the store or anywhere in town, people wanted to talk about chicken wings this week. I think we really started something.
We got greasy fingers up here tonight, Phil, so greasy fingers might drop some stats here this evening. But just, let's talk about the energy on that sideline right now tonight for this team coming off the win last week.
And they've been in the past. You know, I've never really felt like they were down on teams, and I think they let some games get away from them, like the Oak Hill game, but it's a little bit different. You know, it is senior night here, and there have been a lot of seniors and their families recognized for their participation in their activities at fall here at Ripley High. So that's a little bit different pregame, but I'm sure when these guys come running out of the big helmet here in a second.
And Phil, Noah Castor rushed for 214 yards last week. We may need another performance like that out of him tonight to get victory number 2.
If not, be tonight, and you know that opened up. Got their that's bad. I sure would love another 200 yards.
If we get a passing touchdown, I have you have committed to getting the gritty on the sidelines. So Mountaintop Media is ready. We got Gritty Cam ready. Phil's going to hit it if we get a passing touchdown tonight. Phil, thanks. We'll check in with you midway through the first quarter. Jeff, more of the same tonight. Run the football. Stay in front of the chains. Take care of the football. Play good, solid defense. Don't give up big plays.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brian. We got to establish the run. We got to come out and play ground and pound for sure against this Greenbrier East football team. And then, you know, you've got Parker Boyd out there on the edge. You can put Chris Jenkins out there. You can put D'Amico out there. You've got some people that can get out in space and make some things happen. And so you could possibly set up that passing attack via the run, especially if we can get a game out of young Mr. Casto tonight like we did last week. Noah, just phenomenal. And, you know, he doesn't shy away. He loves the attention. He is Mr. Excitement out there. So hopefully we can get him going early and often.
I feel like this passing game, Jeff, has just waiting for that moment to break out. Maybe tonight's the night.
Well, you know, we have been so close on some big plays and, you know, just not been able to connect. A little overthrow, a little underthrow, you know, and pressure. We've got to be able to protect Pritt tonight for sure. He's got a good arm, but he's got to have some time to, you know, let the receivers get into their routes a little bit. We have ran some things that have had some people underneath open, and we've kind of missed them a few times. I love our tight end. I just think that he's just a weapon that can be used. He's young, he's long, he's tough, and I mean, I really would like to see us use him more in the passing game.
That was my next point, Jeff. When we throw the football, we typically throw it outside the hashes. So we're throwing bubbles, we're throwing square ends, we're throwing a lot of routes, slants, everything that's outside the hash. Mm-hmm. You give a head and shoulders fake to Parker, and you run that big tight end right down the hash, and I promise you, every safety and defensive back they have are going to bite right at the wide receiver.
You know, and if you don't think that's true, you just have to go back a few years. Frank Marino, that's where he threw the ball when he did throw it. He didn't throw it a whole lot, but when he did, he would set it up by pounding and getting on the edge or throwing, you know, down the sideline, all of a sudden slip a tight end out, and they would be wide open. And, you know, I remember the Jeff McCoy, Corey Eisner years, and, I mean, it was brutal. They just picked defenses apart.
Jeff will step out when we return. We'll have the opening kickoff here from Memorial Stadium. You've been listening to the WVU Medicine Jackson General Hospital Countdown to Kickoff right here on C98, The Bull.
Captains for the Vikings this evening are Parker Boyd, Connor Casto, Luke Lowry, and Freddie Stevens. Captains for the Spartans, Brody Hamrick, Aiden Cole, also part of the captains for the Spartans, James McGraw and Gary Lyon.
school. We're ready to kick off. Vikings, blue jerseys, white numerals, white helmets, white pants, blue trim. Greenbrier East looking like the Green Bay Packers here tonight. The gold pants with green stripes, white jerseys, green numerals, green lettering, and yellow lids here tonight out of the Spartans. Young group of Spartans, Jeff, that coming to town looking for a victory.
Yeah, they're hungry. You know, we've been there, and this, like I say, when you've got a senior-laden offensive line and guys up in the trenches, man, you know, you just can't count them out.
Owen Romero, it's a low bouncing kick. Vikings just get their hands on it about the 33. Boy, that was close to disaster. Let's see who comes out of there with it. And it's one of the upbacks coming up to field that football. That's Xander Stoniker saving the day.
And you said it, partner. He saved the day. They were not going to get it after Chris Jenkins returning 2 for touchdowns last week. They were not going to kick it back there around him or D'Amico or Boyd. So Vikings get the ball at the 33-yard line and start their first series.
Vikings on the far hash. They'll hand it off. It's Casto slamming into the defensive line, and he'll pick up about 4 or 5. A good hard run there on first down.
You could see that Greenbrier East was looking and keying on Casto, but he hits up in there hard, Brian, and he pushes the pile forward. He's going to pick up about 6 yards on that first carry.
And we've got a player down for
just a shoe problem. He was in the huddle. For
he nearly took the handoff there. Vikings break the huddle. Some confusion up front as linemen are shifting. Pritt under center. They're going to run the option near side. Pritt calls his own number. He stretches up across the 40 to the 41. He'll be just shy of the first down.
A little bit better than we've seen the last couple weeks when the Vikings tried to run that, as far as getting their spacing. Pritt more decisive as he cuts it up. Brian, and gets about a yard or 2. So to bring up 3rd and 3 for the Vikings.
Weston Pence on the stop. 3rd down and short, which is where you want to be in this offense. Off balance line. Pritt gives it, and he's first down. It's Casto hits the hole hard near side across the 45. Out to the 47-yard line, a gain of 6.
And both hands protecting that football. I'm sure, you know, I know a few coaches that would have had some running backs after last week, Brian, carrying that ball with them to class every day.
Yeah, there would have been some words spoken, I'm sure, in preparation for this week. Pritt hands it off, counterplay. D'Amico coming near side across midfield. Penalty flag comes in, and that one's probably going to come back. He's into Greenbrier East territory at the 49. Penalty flag laying at the Greenbrier East 49, and that one appears to be coming back.
Confused. It's going to be a hold on the Vikings, and that's usually where those things take place, where that flag ended up out there on the field. So good run, bringing it back now to the 40-yard line. And,
so midfield is where they mark it off from, and it will be back to the Viking 40. So that's a big penalty here. They're going to throw it. Parker Boyd in and out of his hands. That ball floated out into the flat. Defensively, good play out there by Nate Suttle.
Yeah, and Parker tried to go up and grab that thing with both hands. As you said, got out of there, came out a little awkwardly, and he tried to make a play on it. But the defense was right there, as you said, Suttle making the play.
2nd and 17 from their own 40. Vikings shifting on offense. 3 receivers to the field. Here comes Connor Casto back near side. Now twins either side. Not sure he got set. Pritt to throw. He'll step up in the pocket, looking downfield. Penalty flag flies, and he'll be stopped behind the line of scrimmage at the 38.5-yard line.
Yeah, and we just didn't get set, as you said. Connor Casto went all the way across from the far side of the field, just got to the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped, and it was snapped quickly, and the Vikings were going to get caught.
Jeff, some of that's on the quarterback, right? He's got to make sure everyone's set before he snaps that. They'll decline the penalty with the loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 18. So this is not where you want to be, this far behind the chains.
No, you sure don't. And
not many plays in the playbook for 3rd and 18.
And this type of offense we run, it's not good either. And I think we're going to go back 5 more.
We're
going to call timeout.
Have to burn a timeout. 9:34 to go here in the first. Let's go down to the sidelines for Phil Iman, the Hall's Tire Sideline Report. Phil, not quite the start we had last week with the kickoff return for the touchdown. We have Phil.
They were going to scribble that on the field and try. Has reared its head back, you know. Visit.
All right, Phil, we lost you.
3799, guys.
Thank you, Phil. Sorry about that. We lost you about midway through that. So the Vikings had to burn a timeout. 9:34 to go, first half, or first quarter rather, no score. 3rd and 8 from their own 39-yard line. Still a lot of confusion, Jeff, here in this first drive on that Viking offense.
Yeah, a lot of movement and sometimes confusing ourselves, I do believe.
Pressure coming, Pritt. He'll have to scramble, and he's going to be brought down deep back at the 28-yard line. So this one's going backwards, Jeff. This has not been a very good possession for the Viking offense.
No, senior 6'2", 240, Aiden Cole right there. And once he got to his big paws on Pritt, he couldn't avoid being tackled. So 4th down now, Vikings have to kick it away.
It'll be Parker Keller to punt it away. He's back in there. He's been out for a few weeks. Snap back, kick is up, low lining kick. Takes a Viking bounce to the 35 into the hands of the returner at the 26. Penalty flag down. He's into the secondary up across the 45, but this one's coming back.
Yeah, an unnecessary block in the back by Greenbrier East. The kick return man had already cleared, and he gets caught blocking in the back, so they'll bring that back, way back. So the Vikings catch a break there.
That was Nate Suttle on the return. So that's a big penalty hidden yardage, Jeff. When you look at this one going from the 45, and they'll step it off from the 27-yard line. They'll back it up to the 17. That is nearly a 30-yard penalty.
Yep, a big one. So let's see if the Viking defense can get out there and hold the Greenbrier East offense, Brian. Need a 3 and out, keep them pinned back, flip the field a little bit, and see if we can get on the scoreboard.
So it'll be Hamrick at quarterback. Looking to throw, he has time, rush, near side, tucks it down, he comes across the 15, the 20, and he'll be ran out of bounds up at the 24-yard line by D'Amico.
The young quarterback, Brody Hamrick, 6'2", 160-pound sophomore. A little lean out there, but he's a young one, so you know, he's learning on the fly out here on this Greenbrier East offense, Brian. But, you know, you look up front and you see tackle, senior, a guard, a senior, a center, a senior. The right guard's a junior. The youngster is the right tackle. But it's not his blind side. So that's a pretty good offensive line, at least experience-wise.
So it'll be 2nd down and 3. Here's the pitch to Suttle. He's got running room. Cross the 30, rushed out of bounds by D'Amico on the far sideline.
Brian, it looked like the Vikings had that defended pretty good initially. Got up the field a little bit too far, weren't able to keep him hemmed in and turn back, and he was able to get to the edge, turn it up, and get 1st down yardage. So another big play for Greenbrier East Spartans.
So good start here for the Spartans. as it is now 1st and 10 at their own 33. Play action, Hamrick looking to throw. He's got a man wide open at the 40 in the flat, across the 45. Still on his feet across midfield, and it's Wickline into Viking territory.
Senior Abram Wickline, 5'11", 170-pound senior, and he looked like a senior, Brian. After he got the ball, he wasn't running out of bounds. He turns it up and gets yards after the catch. And they're going to cross the midfield stripe into Viking territory, 1st and 10. 8:05 to go here in the first period. No score between the Vikings and the Spartans.
Into Viking territory. Looking for more at the 47. Hamrick throws out of the flat, caught. Good play by Parker Boyd. That'll be a reception for a loss by Caden Stone.
Yeah, Parker Boyd, it was like he was in the huddle. He saw that coming early and just stayed right there on him like a suit, man, and he just had nowhere to go. Great play by Boyd out there. They're going to lose about 5 yards on that first down play, Brian, so Viking defense hopefully can get a little excited here and get the ball back into the offense's hands.
Big stop as the Viking defense needs to stiffen here. Here's Hamrick, time to throw. Fires it down the far sideline, in stride. Receiver makes the catch, and he's down to the 10-yard line. That's Wickline. Beautiful pass and catch there by the Spartans.
And, you know, the old, if I'm even, I'm leaving.
Yes.
And we saw that. It looked like pretty good coverage early. Great throw there by Hamrick. Led his receiver perfectly, and the receiver continued to just run his pattern and stride right into the catch. Full stride, first down as he crosses into the red zone inside the 15-yard line.
Wickline has been a problem. Here's a handoff near side into the secondary, into the end zone is subtle, but penalty flags are down, and it's coming back.
Yeah, either blocking the back, hold, something of that nature. So,
and the penalties racking up here on both sides.
Nice play call there by the Spartans. The running lane opened up, looked like the Red Sea parting down there, Brian. And that running back they got there in Subtle, he can get north and south in a hurry.
Not much subtle about him, Jeff. He can flat run the football. No question about it. So this is a big penalty.
Huge.
Let's see how they handle the penalties. And typically, teams that struggle, Jeff, when they get behind the chains, they struggle to get ahead of the chains, I guess you would say.
Yeah, and Brian, we've talked about it time and time again. You know, those are the plays that are drive killers. They get you in a position where you down and distance isn't in your favor, and you know, they're knocking on the door. Now they're backed up to the 25.
There's Hamrick in the gun. He's got 3 receivers to his left. Throw it out into the flat. Suttle's got it, blocking the back, not called. And here goes Suttle down the far sideline. Parker Boyd pushes him out of bounds. Good gainer there. You could see Aiden D'Amico caught one right in the back, no call.
Yeah, and that's going to get them back to where just about where this started this series after the first down, after the big catch inside the 15-yard line at about the 13.
So 2nd down and 8. 6:48 to go here in the first quarter. Clock stopped, no score. Hamrick hands it to Suttle. Up the middle, makes a man miss, and there's Anderson to bring him to the turf. Big Bradley Anderson, a good stop. It's touchdown saver.
Yes, I was just getting ready to say, if he doesn't make the stop, he's into the end zone. Big play right there. 3rd down. They can get the first down, Brian, without scoring. So big play here for the Viking defense.
3rd down and 4. Is it 4-down territory, Jeff, here for the Spartans?
You probably did, but I didn't see their kicker warming up to see. I know you've worked with some of those young men down there in the past.
Yeah, Owen Romero, I've worked with him a couple of times. They pitch it far side, Suttle, nobody there, and he's got the first down, and he's got the pylon in the far corner for the touchdown. And they are They found something on the edge, Jeff, that they like, and the Vikings have yet to stop it.
And, Brian, that's a very simple play. I mean, there's no trickeration at all. I mean, he just gets it. He takes a couple steps, flips it out, and for some reason, that side of the line, it just kind of disappeared on the defensive side. They blocked down and got some good blocks and stayed with those blocks, allowing him to get into the end zone for the first score of the evening.
So Romero to kick it, and some confusion as they struggle to get all their protection out there. Here's the snap. Suttle puts it down. Romero's kick is up, and it's good. 7-0. Greenbrier East leads it here in Ripley. We'll return with more first quarter action after this, right here on C98, The Bull. Kickoff return for a touchdown in 5 quarters of Viking football. We're an extra point away from being tied.
You know, Brian, and they tried to protect the big play by Squibb kicking it again. He got through the initial wave, and he waved goodbye.
House call.
D'Amico, I mean, he separated himself with that sprinter speed and got to the end zone to give the Vikings a chance to tie this up if Raider can get this point after.
What a senior night memory for Aiden D'Amico. Happy for that young man. As Devin Raider will attempt the extra point. Placement down, kick is away, and it's good, and we're all tied up. After about 12 seconds, Greenbrier East had the lead, Jeff. That'll get it done.
Just that quickly, the Vikings turned the tables on them with that big D'Amico Mr. Viking kick return as the Vikings tie this thing up. Let's see if that gives the defense for the Vikings a little jolt when they come back out, as they will be called upon very quickly to go back out on the field. Got to get a good kick coverage here on this kickoff. Don't let Greenbrier East make a big play and try to change the momentum that has shifted a little bit here, Brian. With 5:48 to go in the first period of play, the Vikings, with the kick return of D'Amico, tie this thing up at 7.
Special teams, Jeff, has been the difference for this team the last couple of ball games, and it has, as you said, changed the momentum of this game quickly. The bad news for that is the Viking defense had no time to rest. They're going right back out there.
Yeah, but they should have a little adrenaline, a little emotion after that kick return.
Stone and Suttle will return the kick from Keller. Nice kick, Keller. Suttle will field it at about the 8, across the 20, reversing field, getting toward the sideline, across the 30, 35. Here we go, back to back. Suttle is going to take it at the house. Greenbrier East back on top. Fireworks here at Memorial Stadium tonight, Jeff.
And just that quickly, Suttle gets the kick, starts to the right side, but there's a flag down. There was a player for Greenbrier East that didn't make it.
Wow, and that is at least 50 yards away from the return.
Oh, they're going to wave it. They're going to wave it off.
That's a
I hate that.
88-yard touchdown return by Nate Suttle. Fantastic return. What an answer by the Spartans.
And Brian, when he got to the far sideline and turned on the Jets, it was sort of a replay of D'Amico, except D'Amico wasn't on the sideline. He was in the middle of the field, but he just separated himself from the Viking coverage team and sprinted in the end zone for the touchdown.
So you've heard of offsetting penalties. We have offsetting kickoff returns here between the two teams as they struggle to get everyone out there for the extra point team. Romero, the thumbs up. Here's the snap. Suttle puts the placement down. The kick is up, and it is good. It's 14-7.
Well,
just like that.
Let's see if the Vikings can catch lightning in a bottle here on their kick return also.
Well,
just that quickly.
So I said the defense has to go right back out there. Maybe not. Viking offense going back out right quick, unless we get another kickoff return.
Yeah, Chris got 2 last week, Jenkins, and let's see if
who's got one. Who's got one in him? Phil's got one in him. He's high stepping down there on that kickoff return.
If we do that and we don't see a gritty.
He's hitting the gritty. It's happening tonight.
He's got it.
He's going to embarrass his young daughter tonight on Mountaintop Media.
He's warming up.
Yes, sir. Thumbs up.
I can see him down there warming up, stretching a little bit.
Yeah, his wife is not going to speak to him for a week.
Chris will love it. We got to keep the video, archive it.
It's my guy. He got me the chicken wings tonight. So Romero will kick it off. Who returns it this time? Viking upbacks creep up. He kicks this one deep over the head of Jenkins. Jenkins will pick it up at the 11, the 20. Reversing field, and he's going to be stopped at about the 22-yard line. Still not on the ground.
And Brian, squib kick, then booted it over the head as we pulled up a little bit, expecting another squib kick, and they were able to get down and cover that one. The Vikings will have it just outside the 25, almost to the 26-yard line.
That's a fantastic spot for the Vikings. Looked like he was stopped at about the 22. They'll put it all the way up at the 26, as you said. Stick-eye formation. He'll hand it off to Casto, right side, and we have a traditional offensive play for once as we pick up 3 yards.
Yeah, and looked like a pretty good bit of running room. He was chopped down quickly, though. Someone for the Spartans came in there, sliced in, and got him to the ground after a gain of about 2.5 yards. But that looked like it was going to be more than that when it started out.
14-7 the score. Just under 5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Vikings looking to answer as they trail. Pritt under center. They hand it off on the counter play to D'Amico. He's up across the 30, stood up at about the 31-yard line.
And Hayden D'Amico runs hard in between the tackles. The issue is when he gets hit, and 2 or 3 there with the those big linebackers, he takes a wallop. I love it when he can get out in space and use his speed and agility to make a big play. But you got to run him up in there and keep him honest every now and then.
Third and about 5.5 for this Viking offense as they break the huddle with 12 seconds on the play clock. Full house backfield. Going to hand it off to Casto and nowhere to run as Greenbrier East was ready for it. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
You think Greenbrier East watched any film on number 2 carrying the football? They were waiting on that play, and it didn't have a whole lot of running room.
I think Coach Ray Lee had that one circled when he saw that formation. He knew what was coming. So it'll be 4th down and 4. The punting unit on the field. It will be Parker Keller. Nobody deep for Greenbrier East. So this could be a big swing here if they can get field position as Suttle races back, takes a big Viking bounce, and he'll let it go as it rolls down inside the 30, down inside the 27, and down at the 26-yard line.
Greenbrier East has had some trouble getting players on the field in different situations, especially on special teams, extra points, running people in and out, and not really looking like they knew who should be in there. And then again, I don't know if they thought the Vikings were going to attempt to go for it deep in their own territory on 4th down. But Settle did get back, but late, and didn't have an opportunity to field that one. Good for the Vikings, and let's see if the defense can step up here.
That netted a 42-yard punt. 46 on the first one, 42 on that one for Keller. We're gonna run the speed option near side. Hamrick keeps it. Reversing field toward the Greenbrier East sideline. Still on his feet across the 40, 45. Jenkins brings him down in Viking territory. Boy, that didn't look like it was gonna net that type of play. Great heads-up play by Hamrick as the sophomore just put his head down, found a lane, and got big yardage.
Brian, when he put his right foot down and cut back across the grain, as we're seeing in the replay here on Mountaintop, he found a running lane, and thank goodness Chris Jenkins was there to finally bring him down. But another big play, as you said, for the Spartans.
26-yard gainer. Hamrick was settled to his right. Play action, looking to throw in the flat. Caught, 45, 40. And he'll be brought down by Burdett. There's Jenkins on the stop, and that'll be down near the 36, 37-yard line.
Almost a horse collar
very close
tackle there, as he was brought down very awkwardly, but he bounces back up, got a little hitch and he's get along. But a big play once again for the Spartans as they extend the ball into Viking territory. It'll be spotted at the 37-yard line, Brian, and the Vikings have got to shut this offense down.
On the near hash, moving right to left. Give us to Suttle, makes one man miss. Flutie in there on the initial stop, along with Lowry.
Brian, we talked about this senior-laden offensive line for Greenbrier East, and Suttle's finding all kinds of running room before contact is made. They're opening up some holes for him, some running lanes, and they're gashing us right now. That was another 6-yard gain there.
Minute 23, clock turning. Greenbrier East approaching the red zone again. Pistol formation, twins either side. Hands it off to Suttle. Bounces off of one and into the secondary, and he's going to walk into the end zone as Suttle is walking/running all over the Vikings here in this first half.
And another big play, initial contact by the Vikings. Looked like they were going to have an opportunity, but nobody else ran to the football. And then Suttle was running away with the football and got into the secondary and was able to set sail and end up in the end zone for another Spartan touchdown.
5 carries, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns for Suttle. He'll hold it now for Romero. Snap back placement. The ball was blocked. And the Vikings will trail by 13 with 1:08 remaining here in the first quarter. That could loom large, Jeff.
Sure could. We know how important those missed PATs are. Looks like Noah Casto got in there. He kind of did a Superman and possibly got a hand on that.
So this feels like it's a very important possession offensively. It is only the end of the first quarter, Jeff, but you have to go get points here. We've shown no ability to stop them in this first quarter. We've got to stem the tide a bit here and get some points on the other end.
And, Brian, you know, when you see that, you kind of look at the body language and see how our kids are reacting down there on the sidelines. And, you know, there's a lot of excitement down there after D'Amico broke the kickoff return. Now with another score by the Spartans, things are a little quiet down there on the sideline.
Got off to a quick start last week with the kickoff return, had the lead, and we're right there, basically led the entire game. And as you said, you could see the body language completely change. So Romero will kick it off again. This one's going to be fielded by Jenkins on the back pedal at the 13, across the 20. Out across the 25, and he's going to be lassoed. He fumbled it, but fell on it, so a fortunate break for the Vikings. That could have been disastrous.
And Greenbrier East stayed right in their lanes, Brian, and you know how important that is for them not to get suckered in. Chris was going to try to take that, make it look as if he was going to go up the middle and cut it to the outside. They stayed right there, and they weren't fooled at all. And the Vikings, once again, will take over at their 24-yard line this time, 1st and 10. Under a minute to go here in the first period as the Vikings trail 20-7. To the Greenbrier East Spartans.
You don't have to come out of what you're doing. You don't have to change your game plan at this point, Jeff, but you've just got to move the chains and get in the end zone on the other end. They hand it off, quick hitter, dive play up across the 25. Out to the 26, a gain of a couple. And it was Keller.
Yeah, not a whole lot of running room. Keller lowered his pad level and got what he could out of that. And, you know, last week, Brian, we were able to gash St. Albans a little bit, make some big running plays, get ourselves especially good yardage on first downs, which opens the playbook up a little more, you know, when you're not in 2nd and long or 3rd and long.
2nd and 8. Pritt under center. Another quick hitter. It's going to be Keller again, and he fights out to the 30-yard line, and that'll probably be the final play of the first quarter, and it should bring up 3rd and 4 when we return here to Memorial Stadium. Greenbrier East leads at 20-7 on senior night. Second quarter action after this on C98, the Bolt. Bringing the Vikings back. Here's handoff. Castro, the ball's loose. Greenbrier East has it. Turnover bug again.
I don't know that he would have had the yards to make, but the turnover gives Greenbrier East great field position. He was stripped from behind, Brian, and got the ball punched out of there. Greenbrier East, Johnny on the spot. They're going to have it inside the Viking 40-yard line. It looks like at about the 38. And that is where they'll start their first possession of the second quarter, leading 20-7. And this is a big drive here for possession for the Viking defense. They have got to get off the field.
1st and 10 at the Viking 38. Hamrick looking to throw. Looking downfield. He's got a man. Far corner, and the two receivers ran into each other.
Wow.
Wow, what a break for the Vikings. Goodness, that was a touchdown, a break for the Vikings.
Somebody more than likely didn't run the proper route. They got some youngsters out there, some sophomores running, playing the wide receiver position, and
That's Butler, the freshman, and Burdett, the sophomore.
Yeah.
They'll learn from that.
You brought the defense into play, but they basically they became one of their players, the defender, as they ran into each other. 2nd
and 10, man in motion, subtle. Hamrick calls his own number, and he has a ton of room right up the middle, 20. Cuts it back to the near side, 10, 5, near pylon. Touchdown, no flags.
Wow. They set that up, Brian. They'd been running that little swing route out of the backfield. He pumps that. cuts it right up the middle. Great blocking up front, and the Vikings playing that man-to-man pressure defense by the secondary. They couldn't find him until it was too late. Touchdown, Greenbrier East.
Brody Hambrick looking like Michael Vick wearing number 7 out there, running all over the Vikings. Romero, extra point is up and it's good, and it is 27-7 in the second period. Vikings trailing big.
And Brian, how quickly, we get the big kickoff return from D'Amico. We tie this thing up. We've got a little bit of momentum, and Greenbrier East has just taken the wind out of the sails of the Vikings with 3 consecutive scores. They did miss the extra point, but right now it's 27-7. That's not looming very large at this point. Hopefully the Vikings can get back into the game, and it might mean something later in this game. But as of right now, Old Mo is all on the side of the Spartans.
Must-score scenario for the Vikings here with 11:38 to go in the first half, trailing by 3 scores. You can possess the ball, Jeff, for a little bit here, okay? Go down, get the ball in the end zone, get it back to a 2-score game. You're back in it. But you cannot have a quick 3-and-out punt back to them with the momentum and the rhythm that they're in on offense right now.
And we've got to adjust defensively, Brian, to stop this juggernaut of an offense for Greenbrier East. I don't think Greenbrier East has shown this type of offensive ability all season long.
Romero to kick it off. End over end kick. Parker Boyd fields it at the 14, across the 20, 25. He's got it up the middle, 40, 45. Parker Boyd out to the 47. Good return by Parker Boyd. Nearly popped that one, Jeff. It was close.
And that's the way it had to start, Brian. Now let's see if we can capitalize after that great return by Boyd. Good field position here for the Vikings. Let's see if we can do something with it. On the offensive side, the defense for Greenbrier East has pretty much shut us down after the kickoff return and the other possessions that we've had throughout the night. We haven't been able to get anything going.
So 11:30 to go here in the first half. Pritt in the gun. Time to throw, looking near side, throws it for Boyd. High points it at the 30, and he's brought down at the 25.
And, you look down there and Settle, their playmaker, but a great adjustment by Parker Boyd on that. High pointed the ball, as you said, caught it with his hands, got great position, and all Settle could do was bring him to the ground. Didn't have an opportunity. Great catch by Parker Boyd.
Fantastic catch. Vikings nearing the red zone. Here's Pritt. He'll call his own number. He had the edge, Jeff, and decided to cut it back in and brought the defenders back into the play, and he'll get about a yard before he's brought to the turf.
Yeah, just got to keep going with that one. Get what you can get. Try to get over there to that sideline, but that was a good throw by Pritt on the previous play. Also got it out there and gave Parker a chance to make a play, and he did just that.
So it'll be 2nd down and 9. It's a 24. 2 receivers split near side. Pritt rolling near side, throws it. Ball tipped in the air, and it's intercepted at the 25-yard line. Hamilton comes out of there with it, and the promising drive ends in disaster for this Viking offense.
Yeah,
Ball was deflected twice into the hands of Hamilton.
That was a big lineman out there, looks like, Brian, on that play, swatting that thing up into the air. Van Fossen, the senior outside linebacker for the Spartans.
So Greenbrier East back on the attack, looking to put this game to bed here in the first half if the Viking defense can't get a stop. Here's Hamrick looking to throw. He's got time. A hold on the far edge, not called. Here's Suttle with it. All kinds of room, far sideline into the secondary, and it's going to be Chris Jenkins saving the day.
And what a play by Jenkins to save the day. He was locked up with a receiver, and Suttle had a full head of steam and was able to get into the open. Chris basically shed himself of the receiver and was able to come back, get his mitts on Suttle, and bring him to the ground. So
that's technically,
wow.
Jeff, a run play.
Yeah, behind
because it was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. So big gainer there for Suttle as he continues to rack up rushing yards on the Vikings. Here's Hamrick. He'll throw it out into the flat. It's caught. It's Wickline, and he's brought down at the 30 by Colin Moore.
And Abram Wickline, the wide receiver, the senior. Looked like we had him defended pretty good out there. He was able to get up the field, had some room out there on the sideline, and got positive yardage of about 4 yards on that play.
Suttle, it's a big first half here for Greenbrier East. Suttle with 131 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns on 7 carries in the first half. Here's Hamrick, play action, looking near side. Over the middle and incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Aiden D'Amico there in coverage. And that was Burdett. He's given up about 6 inches in height to Burdett.
Yeah, at least. And D'Amico just battles back there. Tell you what, you know, we had some question marks about this sophomore quarterback. And Brian, he looks pretty good here tonight throwing the ball. He's thrown it on target. He's ran the ball well. He's made great decisions out there tonight.
5 of 7 for 82 yards. So
they got a keeper.
Solid night for the youngster. Here's Hamrick in the gun. Bubble near side. It's caught. It's Stone into the Viking secondary across the 25 down to the 24-yard line, 23-yard line.
Like,
Noah Casto, I think.
Yeah, and looked like Noah was going to be there and to bring him down. He just slipped away a little bit. Noah kept after him and was able to bring him down, but not until they get the yardage needed to get another first down.
Move the chains again. That is first down number 10 of the first half for Greenbrier East. Suttle flanking Hamrick to the right, 2 receivers either side. They're going to run speed option, pitch to Suttle. Tries to make one man miss. He does, makes another miss. Tight roping down the sidelines, reversing field into the end zone, spinning for his 4th touchdown in a quarter and a half at Memorial Stadium.
Brian, they found a guy that can replace the running back that left. And Mr. Suttle is very shifty as he gets down the sideline and gets into the end zone for the touchdown.
So an injured Greenbrier East player on the far side of the field as they tend to him, and it's 33-7. A winless Greenbrier East team here with 8:51 to go in the first half. We'll step out. More Viking football after this on C98, the Bolt.
Extra point is no good.
By Romero is wide left. And it's Greenbrier East clinging to a 26-point advantage here in the first half. They have absolutely squashed the Vikings in every aspect of this first half, minus the 1 kickoff return.
Yeah, we haven't been able to sustain a drive offensively. You know, it looked like we were marching down there toward the end zone before the tip pass and interception. And when they got it back, that offense, Brian, for Greenbrier East has been phenomenal here tonight. We just have not found the answer defensively. You know, we're playing press coverage in the secondary, and once we pull up that way and they get through the line of scrimmage, get into the secondary, they've kind of run our defensive backs away from the ball carriers, and they've been very successful.
Romero to kick it off. Jenkins fields it at the 15, across the 20, 25, and he's going to be stacked up right at the 25-yard line, a return of 10. So good coverage there by the Spartan coverage team.
Yeah, and you know, Brian, you talk about those guys that come down and cover those kicks and how fair. I mean, they had a couple guys that were just running all out, hair on fire, as you like to say, and got down there and put a stop on Chris Jenkins, high and low.
Here's Pritt, man in motion. D'Amico, penalty flag flies pre-snap. Vikings move, and that will bring up 1st and 15.
And the last thing we needed was to tack an additional 5 yards on the yards needed for first down to move the ball. The Vikings have got to get something going here offensively. Been tough sledding for Noah Casto tonight from his tailback position, and you know, haven't had a whole lot of success other than the long pass.
Pritt rolling left, looking to throw, under pressure. He'll throw it away. Heads up play by Pritt. And he was outside the tackle box, so it will not be grounding. So it'll bring 2nd and 15.
Doesn't have to get to the line of scrimmage in high school.
It may. I was wondering that. I was
yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Because the side judge over there just came in and told the referee it never got to where I was standing. So it's going to be grounding against the Vikings.
And that'll be a loss of down as well. Is that 5?
Wow.
I think that's a 5-yard penalty, I believe, Jeff, and a loss of down. Actually, yeah, I thought maybe it was from the spot where he threw it, but not the case. I think that might be a college rule.
Well, we know we can't hurdle.
So, yeah. So that'll bring 2nd and 20.
Boy, big score down Cabell Midland and Hurricane. Hurricane leads Cabell Midland 21-7 in the second period.
2nd and 20, Pritt breaks the huddle in the gun. 2 receivers either side looking to throw. He'll step up in the pocket and run with it, and he's going to be brought down across the 15 out at about the 17. Just nowhere to go, gain of a couple.
Had a little bit of time early, Brian. They couldn't find an open receiver, pulled it down, and the Spartans very disciplined on the defensive side of the ball and staying at home, and Pritt had nowhere to go.
Pence on the stop, so it'll be 3rd and 18 in their own territory with 8:05 to go here in the first half. Vikings somehow need to find a way to move the chains here. Pritt in the gun, looking to throw. Over the middle to Casto, he's got it, and he's got the first down across the 35, out to the 36. It's the first time I've really seen us work the middle of the field in the passing game, Jeff, and it's there.
Yeah, it sure is. We cleared the zone, so to speak, Brian. There was nobody there except for 3 defenders for Greenbrier East, not another receiver in the area, and he found him wide open, and Noah Casto knows what to do with it after he catches it.
3rd first down of the first half. They do it again. And Casto, he's in the open field, midfield, 40, 35, coming near side, and he'll be tracked down from behind by Caden Stone. Good play by Stone to save a touchdown.
But there it is. They went back to it, wide open, as you said, right across the middle, nothing but a little post route. He catches the ball, eludes a tackler, and as you said, had he not been brought down at the end of that play by Stone, he would have been in the end zone.
34-yard pitch and catch, and the Vikings are going to take a timeout here. Let's go to the sideline. Hall's Tires sideline report. Phil, passing game showing some life.
Can you guys hear me better now?
We can hear you, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to do my best to stand completely still.
There you go.
Guys, I'll tell you.
Well, we heard.
You know, for all the players that Greenbrier.
So we've lost you
Their
again.
offense,
There he
and
is.
I think that's been the big difference in the game tonight. But guys, I'll tell you what, the defense at different times this season has bowed their backs and helped us out. And if we can get a score here and get a stop, and then get into the halftime and get a change, maybe we can still make this game competitive. We're not going to give up our last year here at Death Valley this year. So I'll be interested to see what we do after halftime. Come see the Tire Pros at Hall's Tires for the latest in Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. Call 3-6.
All right, Phil, thank you. And we'll continue to work on that mic. That was a little better that time. Still cut out a few times. We'll take a look at that at the halftime break. But again, thanks to Hall's Tires for making that happen again this year as the Vikings on the march. Can they take care of the football? Jeff, look for number 9. The 6'5" sophomore split out here to the far side. Here's Pritt, flushed out of the pocket. He's under some big trouble, and he's slung down all the way back at the 45-yard line. That is a loss of 15.
Carter Hamilton, the senior linebacker, running back for the Spartans, got Pritt in no man's land and just threw him to the turf.
Hamilton with a big stop. And they're going to mark it at the 43, so that's a loss of 13. 2nd and 23. Yard to gain the 20, and we'll make it 5 more as Stoniker jumps into the neutral zone. And the Vikings will back them up 5 more.
Brian, once again, it looked like the Vikings with the 2 completions. Noah Casto were on the move, and the sack and now the penalty. Call Uber. We need to
2nd down and a $15 Uber ride for the first down here for the Vikings. All the way back at the 48 on the near hash. This is where you just throw it up and hope for the best. Of course, it's only 2nd down, so you've got try to carve some of that yardage off of this and make it a doable 3rd down. Here's Pritt looking to throw. Throwing back across his body, and that was near disaster as they tried to set up a wide receiver screen, Jeff, that was read beautifully that time by, that was Aiden Cole.
Yeah, it's like Cole was in the huddle and knew exactly where that ball was going. He filtered himself out there and almost got him a pick.
So 3rd and 28 now. Out near midfield. Pritt in the gun. Snap back, looking to throw. He has time. Had time as he steps up in the pocket, and he's thrown to the turf in Viking territory.
And there's that guy, Carter Hamilton again.
It's Hamilton once again. And what appeared to be a promising drive for the Vikings crumbles around them with penalties, as now it's back to their own 49-yard line.
And the Vikings are going to have to boot this thing away, and hopefully we can get a good one off, pin them back. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go on the running clock here. They trail the Vikings 33-7 to the Spartans, and Brian, we cannot give up another score to them for the half.
Angling near side, punted out of bounds. Good punt. Rolling inside to 5 and out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Fantastic punt by Keller. All the way back inside the 5-yard line. No return by the Spartans, and Keller having a pretty good night tonight for the Vikings, but it's never a good sign when your punter is having the best night. Jeff, 48-yard punt there by Keller.
It was a beaut, and we got them pinned back. Now let's see if we can keep them back there. We can't give up big plays. They've been moving the ball just any way they've wanted to here in the first half via the air or on the ground, Brian. And with 5 minutes to go, we cannot let them get out of the shadow of this end zone.
So they'll mark it at the 2 now. A good punt. Looked like it went out at the 3, put it at the 2. Hamrick in the gun. He's got trips to his right. Hands to Tuttle. He's out across the 5. Flutie brings him to the turf at the 8. Gain of 6.
And gets good yardage, but he doesn't, you know, we still got him inside the 10-yard line, looks like, Brian, and we've got to stiffen up here for sure.
4:42, clock turning, first half. 33-7, Greenbrier East. All over the Vikings here in the first half. Ray Lee had his team ready to play tonight.
Yeah,
Hamrick.
Some youngsters have grown up, partner, during this season.
Yeah, they're going to be a handful in the next few years. Here's Tuttle again. He's got room. That's Wickline, excuse me. And bringing him to the turf was Phil-Yaw.
Wickline knew he made the wrong cut. If he cuts back the other way, he's got some green grass in front of him. It looked like he decided to go off to the right, and the Vikings were there to bring him down, but not until the Spartans get enough yardage to get the first down. So they move the change. They move it away from the end zone a little bit. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half. The Viking defense has got to get a stop here. Timeout.
We're going to take a timeout. We'll take one, too. 3:43 remaining here in the first half. 33-7 Vikings trail. More football after this on C98, The Bull.
Vikings have it.
Vikings have it. Cooper Merritt comes out of there with it. So the first miscue of the night by the Spartans, and the Vikings capitalize. You watch the replay here. It looked like a blown play. Hamrick looked like he was going to pitch it to Tuttle, and the up-back Wickline ran into him and jarred the ball loose.
So can the Vikings take advantage, Brian, of this Greenbrier East turnover?
Here's Pritt, who handed off to Casto, and Greenbrier East was in the huddle. They called the play, and then we got a loss of yards all the way back at the 12-yard line. They knew what was coming.
Yeah, 2 is a marked man here tonight. After last week's performance, they've watched a lot of film. They've tried to, I'm sure, dissect the blocking schemes of the Vikings and the formations and see how to attack that, and thus far they've been successful.
So the Vikings behind the chains again. Throw Pritt, he's looking for Boyd, and it's probably was deflected maybe, so it's going to be second down and 11 now.
So the clock stopped, 2:54, 33-7 our score. The Vikings with an opportunity after the turnover to get points on the board, Brian, and First 2 plays have not been profitable.
So the Vikings struggling to make anything happen here as they look to convert here on 3rd and long. Pritt rolling, far side looking, downfield, tucks it. He runs across the 10, and he's going to be brought to the turf at about the 8. So the Vikings decision time, and I don't think you have much of one. Jeff, you just got to go for it. And
a high tackle that time. Pritt took a shot, looked like from our vantage point to the head there, but 4th down, and here comes Raider, I believe. Vikings trying to get some points here before the half.
So Raider will come out to attempt. This would be his 4th converted field goal of the season. This will be a 26-yard attempt. Left hash, snap back, placement down, kicks blocked. Boyd will jump on it at the 25-yard line. So things just continue to spiral for this Viking team as they just cannot put points on the board here tonight as they get deep in the territory again with a gift from Greenbrier East, and Greenbrier East defense stiffens.
Yeah, and Raider has done a good job, Brian, of kicking the ball, field goal attempts this year. That one, couldn't tell who got a hand on it, but it was definitely blocked out of there, and Greenbrier East back in business with 1:57 to go here in the half, leading 33-7 over Ripley.
At the 24-yard line, here's Hamrick throwing back to Burdett. Read pretty well that time of the Viking defense. Colin Moore there, bring him down for a loss of about 4.
Boyd did a good job fighting off the blocker there, Brian, and Moore cleans it up, or that could have been another big play for the Spartans.
2nd down and 14, minute 30 to go. Clock turning, 33-7, Greenbrier East. Hamrick with Subtle to his right. Back looking to throw. He'll throw it up down the middle of the field, and a fantastic catch by Wickline at midfield. He had Aiden D'Amico draped all over him. And that ball, Jeff, was dropped into the breadbasket. A fantastic catch and throw.
Wickline did a great job. As we look at the replay, Brian, looked like he throttled down right at the end of that to keep D'Amico from getting a hand in there. He did throttle down right here and then kept his concentration. As you said, D'Amico draped all over him, but he still makes the catch.
51 seconds, Hamrick back to throw. Under pressure, Flutie pressuring. He'll throw it out of bounds near Burdett, who was the intended receiver. So ball falls incomplete. Ball remains at midfield. 2nd and 10 with only 43 seconds to go here in the first half.
Hamrick showing some good wisdom out there, Brian, where he was on the field, just getting rid of it, stopping the clock, and giving the Spartans another opportunity.
Hamrick again in the gun, Subtle to his left, looking to throw. Back, he has time, he floats it down the far sideline, and Chris Jenkins step for step with Burdett that time in coverage, and that one falls incomplete.
36 seconds to go here in the half. 3rd down now and 10 for the Spartans. And Brian, the defense has got to hold here. We can't give up any big plays.
It's been a night of big plays for the Spartans. The Vikings with the 69-yard kickoff return for the touchdown by D'Amico. And that's been the offense for the Vikings tonight, but it has been quite a performance in the first half by the Greenbrier East offense. Hamrick back, looking to throw. He'll throw it near side now, wheel route, and Subtle had a step. Noah Casto got a little grab in and got away with it. Ball falls incomplete.
So let's see what Greenbrier East does here. Are they going to run another offensive play, Brian, or with 30 seconds to go? Or Do you think they'll just punt it away, go into the locker room with a 33-7 lead?
I think you got to punt it away, don't you? Leading 33-7 with 30 seconds left. You certainly don't want to give the Vikings 50 yards. And they're going to go for it.
Yeah,
unless they're going to quick kick it, unless Hamrick can do that. Here's Hamrick. Nope, going to throw it back over the middle of the field. Falls incomplete. And the Vikings, with 25 seconds left, have the football at midfield. I do not understand that, Jeff. To me, Vikings haven't shown the ability to drive the field on you yet and score, yet you give them half the field and an opportunity to gain a little momentum.
Yeah, not much respect shown out there for the Viking offense as they roll the dice, come up empty, and Greenbrier's defense comes out with the ball spotted at the midfield stripe. So the Vikings, with 25 seconds left, are going to have a few opportunities to make a play.
Can they do it? The football resting, nose of the football resting at midfield on the far hash. Pritt in the gun, looking to throw. He'll step up over the middle of the field. Low pass caught by Casto. They're going to say he did catch it. Now those timeouts looming large now, Jeff. All those timeouts we had to use in the first half. And as they stop the clock to move the chains, Vikings have to take a timeout. 15.4 to go here in the first half, and I believe that's their final timeout. Still got one on the board, but I think they've already used two, if I'm correct, Jeff.
Yeah, I think so. We took one early in the first period, but 15.4 to go, and the middle has been open, Brian. That's where Casto has been able to find some space out there, and if that ball's up a little bit, he's still got some running room. Just a little low on that delivery. He did go down and make the catch. We do have the ball in a position where, yeah, Pritt's got a good arm. I mean, he can throw it down there if we can get a receiver, maybe draw a penalty or make another big play.
15.4 to go. Pritt breaks the huddle. He's got trip receivers to the near side on the far hash. Time to throw. Floats it over the middle of the field looking for Casto, and it falls incomplete. Good defense that time by Wickline, I believe, Jeff.
Yeah, Noah made a good move, got a little bit ahead, and Wickline just was able to not allow him to get back to the middle of the field.
I would have liked to have seen a little out somewhere here, pick up 10 or 12 yards and give yourself an opportunity to throw two in the end zone. Now they're in a situation with 9.2 to go.
We saw that work last night for Houston, didn't we?
Absolutely. As now it'll back them up. Motion on the Vikings. False start.
Parker just didn't get lined up that time and went to adjust it when he did. They call him for motion, so 8.6 seconds to go here in the game, or in the first half, excuse me, and a little tougher situation for the Vikings.
Time should not have ran off the clock on a false start, but it did. Pritt throws, coming near side. D'Amico's got it at the 5, and he'll have the first down. They're going to have to clock it, Jeff. 1.7 to go, and I guess they did have a timeout left.
Wow.
Incredible as D'Amico, a good pitch and catch. You see it here in the replay by Mountaintop, a good throw by Tyson Pritt. And they just ran 4 verticals, Jeff, and said, hey, if you're going to play quarters coverage, we're going to have somebody open.
You're not a kid, and how can you not love number 20 out there?
He will go down. He's one of my favorites, Jeff. He plays so hard. He's so unassuming. He's just a great young man.
We talked about his size, you know, for multiple years because he's been out there on the field. But his heart's as big as his whole body. I mean, he's
Give me
tough.
11 Hayden D'Amicos.
Yeah.
You're going to win a lot of football games.
Good pitch and catch, as you said, in the Vikings with an opportunity here.
1.7. What do you got to get 2 yards, because this will be it. You can run it, you can pass it. At the 2-yard line, you have all kinds of opportunities. As Pritt
RPO would be good.
breaks the huddle. Here's the snap, rolling near side, he'll throw, and it's broken up. Intended for Parker Boyd as time expires, and the Vikings are turned away once again with a scoring opportunity in the red zone, and they'll go to the half trailing 33-7. Johnson Insurance Agency halftime report after this on C98 The Bull. Boy, another missed opportunity, Jeff, right at the end of the first half. A couple of missed opportunities for the Vikings. And this game could look a lot different. You stop one kickoff return after D'Amico gets his. And you had a couple of scoring opportunities in the red zone. You came up empty. This game could look totally different right now. It could be a 7, or a 10-point game right now. Instead, we're looking at a 26-point deficit here at the half.
Yeah, and you go back to the big play by Boyd on the catch and a great field position. They get a tip at the line of scrimmage by their outside linebacker and turn it into an interception. Aiden D'Amico, who, as you said, makes the big play right before the half, 1.7 seconds, and try to slide one into Parker there at the goal line. It was tipped away. Yeah, opportunities, giving up big plays. The Vikings have done that tonight. On the defensive side, they have gashed us pretty good. Quarterback very mobile in the pocket. He's gashed us for a few big runs. He's made some great passes. His receivers have adjusted to the ball, and they've made big plays. They got a good running back out there in Settle, and some good young receivers that mix in with some seniors and a good offensive line, senior-laden offensive line, which has made a difference. They've given Hamrick plenty of time, Brian, to do what he does back there in the pocket, whether it's on those wheel routes or going deep. or running it himself. So they've done a good job of not letting the Vikings get penetration and get to him. So you look at the scoreboard and 33-7, and you go back in your mind and you look at all the big plays they made and the lack of offensive ability for the Vikings to move the ball consistently and get it in the end zone, and thus you have that 33-7 score.
Jeff, you have 28 plays in the first half by Greenbrier East, 311 yards. That's 11.1 per play. That'll get it done.
Yeah, there's some big plays in there. You can tell, Brian, with that kind of average per play. So, you know, we talked to their broadcast guys before the game, and our buddy Soup Campbell down there, you know, it's been a long season for them too, and he told us about these youngsters and how they've come out. They've lost a lot of players to the transfer deal, and Greenbrier West has benefited by that greatly this year. But even at that, these kids have come out here and they've played, and they've evidently grown up through the course of the season, because they don't look like a bunch of sophomores out there running around not knowing what they're doing.
You mentioned Soup, Jeff Campbell, the voice of the Spartans. We all call him Soup. You won't run into a better person in doing this, Jeff, in our years across West Virginia, and boy, it's good to have him here tonight. And you know, you hate to see this happening to the Vikings, but I have a soft spot in my heart for Greenbrier East. That community is very similar to our community. You go down there to spend some time, you get to know the people. They love their football down there, and it's been a long year for them, as it has been for the Vikings. So there's a part of me that's happy for those folks across the way, even though it's at the expense of my blue and white Vikings.
Yeah, and we talk about it, you know, there's the same type of kids, same type of families, you know, it's a farming community down there, hardworking people. The kids have good work ethic. As you said, they love their football. They've got some very nice facilities down there that they benefit from. That's
a beautiful setting for Friday night lights down there with the mountains and the way that field sits in there. So I've enjoyed going down there before and after the games the last few years. During the games, it's been about like tonight's been, Jeff. The last 3 games, counting tonight, the game hasn't been competitive. We've lost by 30 plus. We trail by 26 tonight. They have flat out had our number.
Yeah, they have. Probably the best part of our trips down there have been food and drinks.
Exactly. I was trying to remember the name of the restaurant. You nailed it. Yes.
We frequented that establishment a few times, but
fantastic.
You're exactly right, man. They have had our number, and we come in here tonight fresh off our first win of the season. Our kids are feeling pretty good. Senior night, you know, man, just tough to explain, tough to deal with, but bottom line is they just outplayed us here in the first half.
You can't get it all back in one possession. If you're in that locker room, what's your message to your kids? You got to outscore them by 27 in this second half, so you can't waste any opportunities.
Yeah, and we will kick it off to start the second half, and I think you get your kick coverage team together and you say, guys, we can't give up a big return. We got to pin them down. Defense, you got to come out there and get a 3 and out. You've got to play solid. You've got to, you know, play assignment football. Don't get caught looking in the backfield, defensive backs, and giving up a big play down the field through, you know, the Saddle is man, you know, you got to look for him on the run, and then he swings out of that backfield. They've done a good job of setting up their plays, Brian.
If you had a surprise onside to start the second half, not a bad time to give them.
No, you know that better than I as far as the situations in where that would work. And this is probably one of those situations. I don't think they'd be expecting that. And we might catch them unaware. I mean, it's worth the chance. You know, really what do you got to lose? Field position. That's about it. So you still got to challenge your defense. whether you kick it deep and you get good coverage, or whether you kick it onside, even if you don't get the ball back, defense, you got to go out and do your job. You got to get off the field. And then the offense, when you get out there, guys, execute consistently. We just haven't done that. We make a big play, make a big first down on 3rd and long with a pass across the middle to Casto. We do that consecutively. We got Boyd making a big play down the field. And then we shoot ourselves in the foot, either with a penalty or with a tip pass, turnover, whatever it might be. But we have been our own worst enemy in stalling our own drive. So we've got to get consistent on our offense.
Vikings like to play man coverage. Maybe mix that up a little bit, come out in the second half, maybe play some quarters, play cover 2, play cover 3, get the young quarterback, maybe confuse him, maybe get him to make a mistake, because you're going to have to get some turnovers in the second half if you want any chance to get back in it.
Yeah, and you talk about there's a lot of holes in the cover 2, but if you're getting beat playing press, you got to do something different. I don't mind playing the man-to-man type of defense, but back off a little bit. Don't give up the big play. All it takes is one wrong move when you're in that press coverage for them to make a huge play. And, you give up. If you're going to give up something in front of you.
Sell out and bring some pressure.
It'd be another, that's the other thing.
Maybe try to get Hamrick out of rhythm a little bit, not allow him to stand back there, because he has shown the ability to throw some dimes in this first half, and he's hit a couple of them. Receivers in stride who were covered, and they went for big plays.
Yeah, turn call more loose. Pass, run blitz, pass blitz, whatever. Bring up Noah Casto from his free safety position every now and then, and sneak him in there and see if he can find a lane and blow something up and maybe create a turnover. I mean, you're down 26 points. You got to do something out of the ordinary to make a play and get the ball in the hands of your offense and see if they can, get down and get some points on the board.
All right, Jeff, we'll step out. When we return, we'll take a peek around the state and see if got some competitive ones going on. I know you mentioned there were some good games in West Virginia tonight. When we return, we'll check in on the Metro News scoreboard. You've been listening to the Johnson Insurance Agency Halftime Report. More after this. The Johnson Insurance Agency halftime report continues, and there's 6 minutes and 20 seconds on the halftime clock, but we all know that means 9 minutes and 20 seconds on the halftime clock. Jeff, what's going on around the state of West Virginia?
AAA, some big games across the state of West Virginia tonight. Number 8, Princeton, and number 14, Woodrow Wilson. You know, they kind of know each other pretty well, but Princeton having their way 35-20 at the half. Cabell Midland and Hurricane. We expected that one to be a close one. Hurricane jumped out to a 21-7 lead. They lead in the third period now 28-14 against Cabell Midland. Huntington and Parkersburg. Huntington, number 1 team in the state of West Virginia, 14-0 over Parkersburg. Parkersburg South and Morgantown. Morgantown leads 27-18 in the third period. Brian, you go down some opponents of the Vikings. Oak Hill 19, Buchanan Upshur 7 in the third period. Spring Valley, you know, you look at that team, you got a 2-4 record. They played a horrible schedule for them early in the season and have that record, but they're leading Capital 48-0. Greenbrier and Ripley, of course, we got that one here. But here's one of interest. Point Pleasant, who's 2-4 this year. They struggled a little bit. We played the Marietta Tigers up there, and it wasn't a fun night. And Point Pleasant leads them 14-7 in the second period. It's early in that game. Ravenswood is playing Tyler Consolidated. They're at the half, and Ravenswood trails 34-6. Winfield and Sissonville. Winfield big in the fourth period, 57-0. Fairmont Senior over Elkins, 28-0. Greenbrier West. You know, we talked about it during the game, Brian, how many players East lost to West, and it shows. They are playing Petersburg tonight. They're at the half. They lead 27-0. They enter into that game ranked number 4 in the state, undefeated, and on their way to the playoffs.
Well, I'm glad Greenbrier East doesn't have those 5 players here tonight.
and that's not counting the star running back that left.
Exactly. They do not seem to have missed a beat here this evening on senior night, and it's been a rough one for the 9 Viking seniors who have one half of football left to play here at Ripley High School, so hopefully it'll be a good one for them.
But our band put on a great performance again here at halftime.
Undefeated.
And they are undefeated. Hey, Greenbrier East didn't even show up tonight.
Undefeated.
You know, they knew the writing was on the wall. And so great halftime show put on by the pride of Jackson County, the Ripley High School marching band. And
hard to believe this is the last home game, Jeff. This season has gone by fairly quickly, even though it's been a rough season all the way around, sitting here at 1-6 right now and staring down the barrel of loss number 7 of the season. These kids, if you've been around them at all, they're kids that you want success for. They're just a good group of kids. They're a good mix of young men that fight for each other and play as hard as they can every Friday night. And man, you just want to see them have some success. Your heart hurts for them when the score is as awkward and upside down as it is in games like tonight.
Yeah, and by us doing all these games, you know, football and basketball, and getting to know these kids. And, you know, last week it was so good to walk over by the facility building and see those kids coming out and with big smiles on their faces after getting that win, and families down there. And they've got good support from the community, from the administration at the school, the fan base here in Ripley. And, you know, we love our Vikings, and it's tough when you're going through this. But as you said, they're out there fighting and scratching and, you know, doing their best. The games that we've had. And, you know, Brian, you talk about the season going by so quickly. Playing consecutive games, no open week, really kind of expedites the season a little bit more too. But it's hard to believe that we're done after tonight here at Death Valley Memorial Stadium.
As we count down to the moment when they put 3 more minutes on the clock here at halftime, we'll step out. You've been listening to the Johnson Insurance Agency Halftime Report right here on C98, The Bull.
Huge thanks to Mountaintop Media Program sponsor Amanda Greer Photography. Sessions are by appointment only, and you'll want to because the appointments are filling up fast. We couldn't do this stream without her. And thank you to our gold, silver, and bronze sponsors for supporting Viking football and supporting the streams. Because of the generosity of these businesses, Mountaintop Media is able to bring you this stream absolutely free.
Press box as he makes his way back down to the field. He waited so he would not have to be called out to do his dance down there. On the
Thumbs up.
Smart move by
From
Phil.
the big guy.
Phil makes his way back down there. We'll check in with him here in a little bit as the Vikings will have to kick it off, Jeff, and they'll have to play some defense. Otherwise, the lopsided score is going to get more lopsided here in the early going.
Yeah, and we talked about it during the Johnson Insurance halftime report, Brian, that the Viking defense has got to get stops. They got to give us opportunities to have a chance to score the football. We got to win the special teams battle. I mean, all areas from this point on, we got to win out.
It feels like we have to get a non-offensive touchdown. We got to get a defensive touchdown. We got to get a punt return for a touchdown. We've got to do something to kind of bridge the gap a little bit. I don't think there's enough time left in this first half and the type of offense that we run where when we do have a good drive, it usually eats up 5, 6, 7 minutes. And there's just not enough time left for that. We've got to score, and we've got to score quickly.
Yeah, quick strikes, and, the way that we have lined up in some of our offensive formations, I mean, it's there for the taking. The slot receivers have an opportunity to make some plays here if we get the ball out to them quickly and give D'Amico and give Noah Casto and those guys that line up in that slot an opportunity to get the ball in space and go make a play. I mean, it's there. Hopefully we talked about that at the half in the locker room and have worked up a series of plays to try to take advantage of those situations.
I feel like we need to air it out a little bit. That's been where we have had the most success in this first half, Jeff, as Pritt having one of his better nights of his career. He's 5 of 12 for 134 yards and an interception on the batted ball. But they've stretched the field a little bit, and they've been able to move the football through the air. And they're obviously going to have to do that here in the second half.
Yeah, and Tyson's got to make some decisions back there. When he gets pressure, he's got to get rid of it. He can't take big sacks. And I think what you do is put him in a situation where he gets rid of the ball quickly. And then, use that for the pump and go. We saw a little bit of that last night. It works. We've seen it tonight with Greenbrier East. He drops back. He looks like he's going to throw that little swing pass out there. Pump fakes it out there. We react to it, and then he throws it over the top for a big game. So there's opportunities there on the offensive side, the way we have lined up and what I've seen here, the formations that Greenbrier East and the way that they cover to give us some opportunities to make some big plays.
Been watching the front line of their kickoff team, Jeff. They bailed early on that last one. They started backpedaling on that last kickoff.
I know where you're going, partner.
Not a bad spot for a surprise onside.
Yep, you're not a kid. And we've got some guys over here on this side that can get down the field quickly.
Yep. See what happens. Vikings appearing to kick it away. It'll be Keller. Subtle deep. Along with Stone. 33-7 score in favor of Greenbrier East, and they'll kick it away. Keller, a low liner, and it's going to bounce at the 2, and Stone nearly falls to the turf at the 10. Still on his feet at the 20, and he'll be brought down right there at the 20. So near disaster, but ends up being a pretty good return there by Caden Stone.
But even at that, Brian, we've got him back where they've got to go 80 yards to pay dirt, and we need to make some plays here on the defensive side of the ball to get us a turnover and get great field position or get us to stop and get the ball in good field position for the offense.
18-yard return to the 21. As Hamrick breaks the huddle, trips to his left, single receiver to his right. Ball's loose. Ball's still loose, tries to jump on it. And it looks like Suttle will recover it back at the 1-yard line. So
that's
good start for the Vikings.
That's the kind of things we need to happen here as we start this second half. Greenbrier East has the miscue early on the first snap of the second half, and they're pinned down now inside their 5-yard line.
Heads up play by Suttle. But that'll bring up 2nd and 29 for the Spartans. That would have been huge had we been able to recover that and get into the end zone. So they'll get under center now for the first time tonight. Hambrick will turn around and hand it off. And it's going to be stacked up at about the 3 after a gain of a yard. Suttle, the ball carrier.
So here we go, big play time for the Viking defense. We've got them pinned, Brian, still inside their own 5-yard line, 3rd and 27.
Bradley Anderson credited with that stop, 3rd and 27. Play clock down to 15 as Hamrick makes his way back to the huddle. They break the huddle, 9 seconds on the play clock. Hamrick under center, stick-eye formation behind him. He'll hand it off to Suttle. He has room left side, and luckily Aiden D'Amico's there to usher him out of bounds. And about the 13-yard line, Jeff, so good gainer. He got 9 of them, but it'll still bring up 4th and long.
Yeah, got him out of the shadow of his own goalpost to punt this ball, but the Vikings play their cards right. They should have great field position on their first possession of the second half.
First punt of the night. It'll be Carter Hamilton to punt it away. Parker Boyd for the Vikings. They should have good field position. High snap, and this was going out of the back of the end zone. Safety. The Vikings pick up a couple of points off of the errant snap, and they'll get the football back as well. So pretty good start here to the second half, Jay.
There you go. 7 would have been grand, but we'll take the 2 and get the ball back, which should put us in a position on the field, Brian, where we can make something happen. 9 minutes and 29 seconds to go here in the third period. We just started the second half, so Vikings get on the board 33-9, and we just need to keep chipping away.
So they'll have to have the free kick from the 20-yard line. So as you mentioned, be good field position for the Vikings. If they're able to pop another one here, get into the end zone, then we crawl back to within 3 scores.
Yeah, we've got Jenkins and Boyd and D'Amico back there. Any of those 3 can bust it loose. We've seen that already this year.
So they're going to send their place kicker out. Romero will kick it off.
Let's see what
Romero angling toward the far sideline. Jenkins at the 38. Cross midfield up the far sideline 40, and he steps out of bounds. Boy, that was close.
They did a good job. Chris fields that and gets upfield, but they pinned him on that sideline to where unless he cuts back, he's not going to break anything big, as they just rode him down that sideline. But he crosses the 50-yard line. He gets up to the 41-yard line of the Spartans. So great field position. Let's make something happen.
Not a bad spot to throw one deep here, Jeff. You got a little momentum. Here's Pritt. Throws out in the flat to Casto. Makes one man miss to cross the 35 and stretches out across the 30 down to the 28. Great effort by Casto. That'll be a Viking first down.
We've got an injured Viking on the field out there now. That's Keller Payton. It looks like it's down. He hobbles off.
We'll mark him at the 29. Casto, you've talked all season, Jeff, about when he gets the football, puts a foot in the ground, he's really decisive with it, and he showed it there. They give it to him right up the middle, and he runs into a host of Greenbrier East tacklers. Hamilton in there on the initial contact. Penalty flags flying now as
Noah gets up.
He took a little extra activity on Noah, and he took offense to it, as you can imagine. And we'll see if this is offsetting or if it's going to be on Greenbrier East.
Well, you made the call, Brian, and he met a wall of Greenbrier East Spartans.
So personal foul on Greenbrier East, and that'll be a Viking first down. A lot of palms to the sky on that one as guys pointing to each other. Wasn't me.
So let's see, they still haven't.
So that should go from the 29 down to the 14, a 15-yard penalty. Well, that's a 14-yard penalty.
It's this new math.
Common Core math, Jeff.
Yeah. I can't do it, but
I can't either.
Back in the old way, 29 minus 15 is 14. You were right.
Yeah, should have. So 14-yard, 15-yard penalty. Here's the pass. That one's in the dirt. He had Casto for would have been about a 6-yard gainer. Falls incomplete.
And Tyson Pritt, he can throw it out there, Brian. He kind of aimed that one. He saw him open, and he wanted to make sure that he delivered the ball, and he came in a little low.
We gained a half a yard on the incomplete pass as the ball now sitting at the 14.5-yard line.
Yeah, if we can keep doing that.
So 2nd and 10 for the Vikings. Here's Pritt, time to throw, throws into triple coverage, it's caught! I'm not sure how. Noah Casto caught it between 3 Greenbrier East defenders. Touchdown Vikings.
And we got some hobbled defenders out there, but there's that slot receiver. And he threaded the needle, and Noah comes up with it. So the Vikings
back to within 18.
Chipping away.
You think about going for 2 here. You make it a 2-score game if you get the 2-point conversion, but their Vikings are going to kick it. Raiders' extra point is up and good, and it's 33-16. 9 unanswered by the Vikings here to start the second half, and there's still 8:30 to go in the third period, Jeff.
Never say never.
How about that onside right here? What do you say?
You know, the way things have been going for us here thus far in this half,
give it a shot.
yeah, stranger things have happened. So the Vikings get 9 on the board to start the third quarter very quickly and claw their way back into this thing.
Let's take it down to Phil on the sideline. Good start here in the second half. Phil, I credit you for the adjustments.
Well, you know, this is almost starting to feel like a trivia question of how many different ways can you score in football. But, yeah, you know what we need right now? We need a defensive stand. We need to get the ball back. We're showing that we've got the momentum that we didn't have earlier. And, you know, if we can get the ball back again and score, I think that gives us the momentum back. Come to the Tire Pros at Hall's Tires for the latest in Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and exceptional service after the sale. Visit us in Fairplain or 372-3799, guys.
Thanks, Phil. I'm not going to say it, but that was the perfect opportunity for you to do your dance. 9 consecutive points. You're bringing it. Here's Keller. Good kickoff. Going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. That's Stone across the 25, angling near side. Cuts it back in the middle of the field across the 35 and out to the 39. Good return by Stone.
Yeah, he just kind of picked his way up through the Viking kick coverage team. Looked like we were going to have an opportunity to come from the wide side and get him pinned in a little bit, but he did a good job of snaking his way through and gives him field position out at the 40-yard line, the nose of the football. So Viking defense called upon again here, partner.
1st and 10. It's a pretty good spot for the Vikings, Jeff. I thought he appeared to be out near the 45 when he was stopped as Hamrick in the gun, trips to his left. He pitches it to Subtle left side, looking for room, and just an absolute lasso stop out there. That is, gets the number, Jeff. I think it might have been, yep, Michael Vaughn, 28 for the Vikings. Good stop. There was a lot of room out there, Jeff, if Vaughn doesn't make that play.
Yeah, and he took him to the turf with authority, as you said. Good job by Vaughn that time to not give up a big play.
Twins near side ball on the far hash, moving left to right. Hamrick hands it off to Subtle, and he just absolutely blasts through that Viking front into Viking territory down to the 43-yard line. He's got a burst.
He sure does, and they gave him plenty of room to show that, Brian, as he came through the line of scrimmage clean. And when he saw that opening, he turned on the afterburners and got into the secondary. Big play once again for Subtle.
So here comes Subtle again, near side. He's got room, trying to get the edge. He'll cut it in, brought down just inside the 35, down to the 33.
Chris Jenkins there for the Vikings, along with Phil Y'all, but he was looking for a cut. Chris shaking up a little bit. They got his hand bent underneath Subtle, I believe, on that stop.
Boy, Subtle runs hard. As they'll take a timeout to tend to Chris. Hopefully he's okay. We'll be able to stay in the ball game.
He doesn't want to come out, you can tell.
We're going to pull him out, and Connor Casto is going to come in for him. Subtle out of the ball game as well, Jeff. As Hamrick in the gun, 2 receivers to his left, hands it off. Penalty flag down. That was Hamilton on the carry, but this one's coming back.
Yeah, right in that area where there's usually a hold. So the Vikings will be able to push the Spartans back.
That was Vaughn again on the stop.
All right, partner, we need a play here.
They'll step this one off from the 33 back to the 43, and Vikings get a stop, Jeff, but clock, precious time running off the clock here. 6:34 to go, Vikings trailing
Yeah, we got
by
to
17.
roll the dice a little bit here and see if we can maybe run blitz or something and try to get back to Hamrick before he can get the handoff. Something unusual here.
1st and 20 at the Viking 43. Hamilton again, and he's going to be stopped after a gain of a yard.
There we
Down
go.
to the
Good
42.
defense. Good defense that time. Running to the football. 50 more is always going to be around there. Anderson's done a good job in stuffing the run there at the line of scrimmage, along with the others of the Vikings on that play. And we just need a couple more of those.
2nd and 19. 5:45 to go in the third. 33-16. Greenbrier East leads it. Here's Hamrick, time to throw. He'll step up in the pocket. He'll take off with it. Cross the 40, and he'll step out of bounds. Shy of the initial line of scrimmage at the 35-yard line. He has absolutely killed us with his legs here tonight. That was a gain of 7.
Yeah, and we had him. We had him in a position where we could have made a play and they would have lost more yardage, but he found a way, as you said, using those legs to get to the sideline before he's pushed out 3rd and about 12 for the Spartans. The Vikings have got to get off the field here.
Most likely 4-down territory. Hamrick, 2 receivers either side, looking to throw. He has all kinds of time now. He'll throw it over the middle of the field, and Parker Boyd in there to break it up. Stone wanting the pass interference call. No flags. It'll be 4th and 12.
So good job by Boyd that time of running through the receiver, breaking that up. He really didn't make a play on the ball as he was behind the receiver, but he did a good job. Defensive backs are taught that. Run through him. If you can't get there, run through him, jar that ball loose. And a little high on the delivery, which helped a little bit too, but 4th down now for the Spartans.
Big stop here for the Vikings. If they can get it back, go down and score, game tightens up. Here's Hamrick looking to throw. He's going to actually pull it down and run with it now in the Vikings, and Flutie there on the stop, and the Vikings will take over at their own 32-yard line.
So big play by Flutie there to stop that drive. Now the Viking offense has got to come out and get something going. We have got to score, and as you said earlier, it's got to be quickly, Brian. We can't run 5 minutes off this clock and expect to get within striking distance in the 4th period.
Vikings 68 yards away. As Pritt in the gun, 2 receivers either side, looking to throw. He's flushed out of the pocket, floats it, and a diving catch by Casto, but it'll only net a couple of yards to the 34. Precious time continuing to tick off the clock.
Noah's hobbled as he comes off the field, but Pritt making a great play, Brian, of not getting sacked. Casto lays out for that one, but I think a leg cramp for Noah as he comes to the sideline.
Connor Casto will check in as he splits far side. D'Amico with him. Pritt under center, 4:40 to go in the 3rd. Looking to throw. Actually, he'll hang on to it. Makes one man miss, and the Spartans there, no gain. Play was doomed from the beginning.
You got D'Amico out there in that slot, and all he's got to do is slant. And he's in the open. Just a quick hitter.
So 3rd and 8 now for the Vikings. You're in a situation where you have to go for it at this point. So it's 4-down territory, Jeff. Has to be. Trailing by 3 scores. Time ticking away here in the 3rd. I feel like you maybe have to get, at this point, even in a 2-minute situation when you're trailing by this much late in the ball game, and Vikings have to burn a timeout. 3:48 to go here in the 3rd. 33-16, Vikings trail. More Viking football after this on C98, the Bully. Boyd trying to get the far sideline. He's got the first down across the 45, across midfield. He'll be brought down by Braden Brown.
Big play, Brian, as you get the ball in the hands of your playmaker. He gets out in space and gets the first down the sideline, gets out of bounds. The clock rolls at 3:30 and counting, and that's the nemesis of the Vikings.
Hurry to the line. Pritt snap back, looking to throw. Sidearms it to D'Amico, pick up a couple of yards. Good defense by the Spartans. Changed arm slots on that one, Jeff, to get that one out of there. Good play by Tyson.
D'Amico coming across in front of the linebackers, got the ball, but the linebackers for Greenbrier East stayed right at home, didn't bail out of there and give him an opportunity to get out there and make a play.
Pritt looking to throw, out in the flat, caught by Casto. He's got the first down, get out of bounds, he does. That'll stop the clock. Now they're gonna wind it. Gotta get out of bounds in that situation. You have to save as much clock as you can when you trail by 3 scores.
So they move the chains, which stops it, but now it's rolling again, and the Vikings slow getting the play in. You're going to lose 10, 15 seconds, Brian, from the time the play ended to the time the next one gets started.
1st and 10 at the Greenbrier East 37. Biggest night through the air for Pritt as he's now nearing 200 yards. He'll throw it out in the flat again, penalty flag down, and that one falls incomplete. That'll be a holding on the Vikings.
So there we go. If that's what we think it is, which is a hold, it's going to move us back 10 yards that we desperately can't afford to lose.
It's in the area where you would imagine it would be a hold. And they will mark it. Oh, chop block. Even bigger penalty.
Oh, my, yes, dangerous.
That'll move it back into Viking territory. Ouch. All the way back to the 45 of the Vikings.
So
that'll get you behind the chains in a hurry. 1st and 28 from their own 45. With 2:14 to go here in the third, trailing 33-16.
Okay, we got some work to do here, Brian.
Pritt in the gun, looking to throw, rolling near side, out in the flat, and in and out of the hands of Noah Casto. Second down and 28.
If he catches it and can get turned upfield,
a lot of room.
That's money, but falls to the turf.
A lot of green grass in front of him, so 2nd and 28 with 2:09 to go here in the third. Single coverage down here on Parker Boyd. Maybe an opportunity. I formation. Pritt under center, looking to throw. Over the middle, ball tipped up in the air by Carter Neal. And he had him, Jeff. He was wide open, and he had a lot of room to run.
Yep, sure did. Got a big mitt on it up there. Tried to tip it to himself. You know, when you're going across the middle of the field like that and you're going to reach out, you are in a very precarious situation as a receiver.
So now, 3rd and 28 from your own 45. Pritt in the gun again, looking to throw. Throws down the middle, and someone ran the wrong route. I'm not sure who that was intended for. It fell kind of between D'Amico and Noah Casto.
Noah came off the line of scrimmage. There was nobody there. I mean, he was uncovered. And you got to just hit him quickly and get him out there. What he did was run himself into coverage, and he threw him into coverage by throwing it over the top. So opportunity there for a big play.
Chop block dooms the Vikings as they were moving the football. Keller back to punt it away. Good punt, bounces at the 23. Takes a Viking bounce inside the 10, and they'll down it at the half-yard line. That's Phil Yaw down there to down it as Keller once again coming up with a huge punt for the Vikings. And Jeff, this is a spot where crazy things happen. Last time they had the ball inside the 5, the Vikings ended up netting 9 points out of the whole deal.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say they haven't functioned well down deep in their own territory. A great punt, as you said, giving the Viking defense an opportunity to come out here and make something happen with a minute 46.
Listen, Parker Keller, 4 punts, 47.5-yard average. Here's Hamrick under center. So hand it off, first man through as Lowry, penalty flags are in there. It's either going to be a face mask on the Vikings or holding on Greenbrier East, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's going to be against the Vikings, unfortunately.
And that will get them, if it's a 15-yarder, as I'm afraid it's going to be, 5-yarder. So break for the Vikings.
So that's a little bit of a break there on the penalty, that it wasn't a 15, but it does move Greenbrier East out to the beyond the 10-yard line. But still, Viking defense has got to come up with something special, try to flip this field. As you said just a moment ago, the penalty for the chop block stifled the last drive. We got to get the ball back quickly.
Got to get a turnover here, Jeff. The Vikings, you got to get the football back. They handed it to Subtle. Not the right guy for your Viking defense, and good play there. And that was Bradley Anderson on the stop.
You know, Anderson just keeps playing. He gets double teamed a lot. He gets banged up in the middle, and he just keeps coming. He worked hard in the offseason, got himself bigger, faster, stronger, and it shows. But you know, that's a guy that takes on a couple linemen almost every play.
We're going to miss him next year big time. One of the seniors here tonight playing his final game at Memorial Stadium as we tick down to 30 seconds remaining here in the third period. 2 seconds on the clock. Just get the snap off in time. Subtle gets it, and he's quickly into the Vikings secondary, and Filial saves a touchdown at the 31. That was gone if Mason Filial doesn't make that stop.
Yeah, he got into the secondary. Brian cut back across the Viking defense. As you said, if Filial's not there, I was going to say strike up the band, but they didn't bring their band. So another big run by Filial's time's going to expire here in the third period.
33-16, Vikings chip away in the third period, but they are up against it when we return here in the fourth. Vikings trail on senior night. More Viking football after this on C98, The Bowl. Twelve minutes of football left here at Memorial Stadium. Vikings need some help. Hamrick in the gun. 1st and 10, hands it off. This is not going to help. It's Hamilton. He'll get 11, maybe 12 on first down.
Hamilton takes the football, goes right up the gut, gets into the secondary, puts both hands over the ball to secure it, gets the first down.
They're going to play a little hurry up here. They're going to give it to Hamilton again. Trying to bounce it outside. Noah Casto trying to bring him to the turf, still on his feet as he fights near midfield. Good run there by Carter Hamilton out to the 49-yard line.
Their running backs run hard, give maximum effort all the way through the run, and we've got an injured Viking, I believe, across the way.
It's Noah Casto fighting those cramps again as he is down on the far sideline. Let's go down to the sideline. Phil, 11:20 to go in this game. We may need a little miracle here this evening.
Yeah, like you said, you know, we've had some moments in the second half here where we've gotten back into this game, but another inopportune penalty with that chop block really put us behind the gun and really killed whatever momentum we had. And you know, as Noah gets back off the turf, getting that cramp worked out, and you got to feel like if we don't get a score in the next couple of minutes, this game's going to get away from us. Come see the tire pros at Hall's Tires for the latest in Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. Call 372-3799.
Phil, this game's getting away from us too. You've only got 11:20 left to do your dance.
I tell you what, you're nothing if you're not relentless, whether it's cruise or win.
I am relentless. There is no doubt about it. 33-16 as Noah Casto gets himself to the sideline fighting those cramps. Hamrick again. Trip receivers to his left. He has Hamilton to his right in the backfield. Bubble screen to Suttle. And the Vikings, first time they've slowed him down tonight as Parker Boyd's in there with Aiden D'Amico.
And now they have a player down.
And that might be Suttle. Is it Suttle on the turf?
Yeah, sure is.
Down at the 50-yard line. That'll be a gain of a yard on the pass. So that's a big injury for them. It's like his ankle, possibly. I hate to speculate.
Yeah, he doesn't. He was down there writhing in pain. You could tell when the Viking defenders popped up. And he was still on the ground, Brian. You could tell he was not in a good situation. Hopefully it's just a cramp, but no, I think you're right. It's a lower leg injury.
Hopefully that young man is okay. He has had quite a night here tonight, the sophomore.
Yeah, he's a pretty dynamic sophomore out there for
He has
Spartans.
218 rushing. He has 13 receiving. In return yards, he has 110. It's a pretty good night.
Yeah, that would make you have calf cramps, but it's more than that as they assist him off the field.
Big third down here, Jeff. It's going to be third and just shy of 3 yards. Vikings have to get a stop with 11:02 remaining in this ball game, trailing by 17.
Yeah, that's a bad number in itself. Trying to get, even with that new math, that's not going to work well.
Somehow. I don't know how we're going to turn this into a 2-score game. Here's Hamrick. He'll hand it off, and it's Hamilton first down as he breaks tackles. Caleb Parsons in there on the initial contact for the Vikings, and that'll be a first down as they move the chains down to the 41.
He was hit. He continued to move forward. Then as the Viking defenders got there, he continued to move the pile almost up to the 40-yard line. Stopped at the 41. And they won't be in a big hurry, Brian, throughout this fourth quarter as they let that clock run down. It's inside 10 now.
Defender now, you just have to be raking at that football, trying to pull it out, get a turnover any which way you can. Hamrick in the gun again. They hand it to Hamilton again. Breaks a Viking tackle, and he's down inside the 35, down near the 34.
The sophomore speedster Settle goes out, but the senior Hamilton now carrying the load for the Spartans. Picks up 6.
2nd and 4 as they just melt play clock away. Down inside 10 seconds before every snap, as they should, as they can sniff victory for the first time this season. It's Hamrick, Vikings showing pressure. They'll hand it off to Hamilton. They run right at that blitz, and they get the first down at the 30-yard line. That's how you run at a blitz, Jeff. You run right at it.
Yeah, nothing fancy, Brian, as they're just playing it now with this 33-16 lead, 9:27 to go in the 4th period. They're just going to play close to the vest, hand it off to Hamilton, get what he could get. And thus far, he's been able to get big enough chunks of yardage to move the chains, and that is not what the Vikings need.
Flip the formation this time. 2 receivers to the field. Ball in the near hash. Hamilton once again. Vikings have yet to show the ability to stop it as he hits the initial contact, pulls Viking defenders down inside the 25, down to the 24 for 6 more yards.
Yeah, and nothing fancy. The Vikings blitzing those linebackers, but he's able to either get around or get through. And he's consistently picking up 6 yards on those first down carries.
.37 to go in this ball game. 33-16, Greenbrier East leads it. Hamrick taking his time, 2 seconds on the play clock. Snap back, hands it to Hamilton. Right up the middle again for another first down inside the 20, down to the 18. This feels like death by paper cut here if you're a Viking fan. Man, they're just running the football right at us, and we're unable to stop it.
And the senior fullback, Brian, has just picked up where Settle left off. He is not going to get out on the edge and burn you, but as you said, death by paper cut. He just keeps pounding it up in there, getting 4, 5, and 6 yards per carry, which keeps moving the chains and running more and more clock.
This will be the 12th play of the drive here by Greenbrier East. They give it to Wickline. The speedster gets the edge at the 10, cuts it back in at the 5, and he's upended right at the 5-yard line by Vaughn.
Yeah, the yin and the yang. They go from the power of Hamilton to the speed of Wickline, the other senior. He's a wide receiver. He's a running back. He's a good defensive kick returner. He can do a lot of things for the Spartans, and he shows the speed out there on the edge.
14-yard pickup. It's Greenbrier East looking to ice this one here, Jeff. 7:20 to go in the ball game. Hamrick, trip receivers to his left. Hamilton single set back to his left as well. He'll give to Hamilton, and Hamilton will be brought down after a gain of a couple of yards. Colin Moore in there on the initial stop.
Yeah, and he's going to move that ball down to about the 3, it looks like, and it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line for the Spartans. Viking defense looking a little bewildered out there right now, partner.
Yeah, it's tough when you just can't get off the field on 3rd down, and they're not doing anything tricky, Jeff. They're just running right at you, and you're struggling to stop it as they spread you out with the spread offense and run it right down your throat. They do it again. Hamilton, Vaughn on the initial contact. He's going to be stopped at the 1.
Good second effort by Hamilton, but better defense by the Vikings as they were able to get penetration a little bit that time, Brian, and stand him up and keep him from getting into the end zone.
Flutie and Vaughn combine on the stop. They'll give him yardage to the 2. So a gain of a yard. So 3rd and goal at the 2. Same formation for Greenbrier East. Under 6 minutes to go in the ball game, 33-16. Spartans lead it, threatening more And Hamrick will keep it, and he walks into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the sophomore quarterback has had a stellar night here also, Brian. They pounded and pounded and pounded with Hamilton, and then he pulls it out of his belly and takes it off the right side into the end zone for the touchdown as Greenbrier East extends the lead to 39-16 pending the point after.
Romero in to attempt the extra point kick, and the field goal team missing their right tackle as he makes his way out onto the field. Snap back, placement down. Romero's kick is wide left. 39-16 your score, 5:48 remaining in this one. We'll be back. More Viking football after this on C98 The Bowl. Fought back a little bit here in the second half, but not enough juice offensively here this evening to keep up with this high-powered Greenbrier East offense.
Yeah, they came at us early and often, and they didn't come at us in any one way. They were able to rush the football, and they were able to throw the football consistently against the Vikings, and it kept the Viking defense guessing all night long on what this Greenbrier East team was going to do.
Romero kicks it off. Jenkins on the run at the 18, weaving through Greenbrier East tacklers, brought down to about the 37-yard line. 20-yard return.
And other than D'Amico's big kick return, there hasn't been a whole lot of excitement as far as big plays for the guys in blue and white here tonight, Brian, offensively or special teams. We've made good plays. We just haven't made that one that wow play.
The one we had to make. Pritt looking to throw. Slant pattern in and out of the hands of Parker Boyd. Falls incomplete.
And Parker running that little skinny post slant. Good delivery there by Pritt, just couldn't hang on to it, and pass falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 now for the Vikings.
Senior will go over and chat with his head coach for a moment. 39-16. Pritt breaks the huddle. 2 receivers either side. Snap back. Under pressure. Steps up in the pocket. He's got Carter Neal, had him. Neal couldn't hang on to it. Falls incomplete.
Boy, if he catches that thing upright, Brian, he had some room. Yeah, he sure did. And the big tight end, the youngster out there for the Vikings, just couldn't corral it.
3rd and 10 from their own 37. 5:32 remaining here in this one. Vikings about to fall to 1-7 on the season. Pritt under all kinds of trouble. Somehow gets it out of there. Carter Neal makes the catch, but only for, yeah, they're going to say incomplete now. I thought for a moment they were giving him the catch.
And
so that'll make it 4th and 10.
Pritt, just no time to deliver the football as he was backpedaling under pressure, and a little dinged up as he comes to the sideline.
The Vikings will punt it away. Parker Keller. He's had a career night for him. Here's another. This one's going to sail out of bounds, and it'll be his shortest one of the evening. As the official marks it out at the 40. So 23-yard punt, no return. Spartans will have it back. 5:22 remaining in the ball game. And you got a feeling, Jeff, that they're going to turn around and hand it to 33 4 or 5 times, 6 times, however many it takes to melt the rest of this 5:22 off the clock.
And Brian upset special. Parkersburg South final 38, Morgantown 34.
Wow.
So the
Big
Patriots,
comeback.
and that'll move them up from that number 10 position, beating number 4. A lot of points off of that victory.
No question about it. It's got a 28-28 game, Cabell Midland and Hurricane.
Yeah, that one hadn't updated here recently, so I assume that's still what's going on there. Brooke doubles up on John Marshall, 49-23. So.
They creep toward playoff possibility.
Yeah, they were in at 16 coming into this week, so they are going to move right up. Riverside 28, South Charleston nothing. South Charleston also has been decimated by some of the things that are going on as far as the transfers in high school football. Roane County 54, Braxton 7, that one's final. And here's a big upset too. Well, it's a double A going against a single A, but number 2 man in single A gets beat by Independence, and they've played some pretty good football down in Independence the last couple of years, but Independence 38, man 0. So
wow. A little shocking score.
Yeah.
So we've got some new Spartans out there on the field. It's DeAndre Tolliver, number 17. And in the backfield, Keyshawn Bland to lay a game on the Spartans. One of their few miscues of the night, Jeff.
Yeah, and it took pretty much the number 2s to come in and have an issue.
Tolliver in the gun, gives to Bland. Bland has running room right up the middle of that Viking defense, out across midfield, down to the Viking 49.
And Bland comes in and gashes the Vikings right up the middle, as you called, Brian. And first down, Spartans, they're not taking their foot off the gas, even with the 2s in there.
Connor Pritt on the stop. A gain of 16 on the carry. Here's Tolliver again. He'll hand it to Bland again. Same play. Vikings defend it a little better this time. And down to 46.
Yeah, without a doubt. They're not going to do anything different, Brian, as they come in. Just continue to run the ball and run the clock. Vikings only have 1 timeout left to burn anyway.
2nd and 7 at the 47. There's Tolliver, ball's loose. He scoops it, looking for room under pressure. And the Vikings are going to corral him back in Viking territory. He's able to get some of it back.
Yeah, miscue on the snap. Tolliver was able to gather it up, but the Vikings right there, he did manage to scoot forward a little bit, Brian, and not get an even larger loss on that play. But it's 3rd down and 11 now for the Spartans.
So loss of 4 on that from back across midfield into their own territory at the 49. We got Tolliver in the gun, looking to throw. He has time. He'll run with it. And he runs into the teeth of the Viking defense that time. He had some room to run on the far sideline. He'll be stopped for a loss of 2. Back to the 47 by Hammond.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. He cut that thing back up inside and ran right into a big blue jersey, and a little bit of space out there on the right side toward their bench, but he wasn't going to go out of bounds and stop clock or do anything else. He's going to continue to run forward. A 4th down here now for Greenbrier East. 13 yards needed for the first down.
Coach Ray Lee going to keep the offense on the field and let some of these youngsters get some play. Tolliver hands it off, and they'll hand it off to Bland, and he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
So the Vikings will take over on the Greenbrier East side of the 50-yard line. This ball's going to be spotted, I believe, at the 42, Brian. So
Nicholas Meredith on the stop. 2:35 remaining in this one. 39-16. The Vikings trailing big here on senior night, and you had timeout on the field, Jeff. We'll take one, too. We'll return. 39-16 your score. More Viking football after this on C98, The Bull.
Keller brought down in the backfield by Bland. Loss of 8 on the play. Brings up the Vikings second down.
Keyshawn Bland sacks Peyton Keller for an 8-yard loss back at the Viking 45. So Bland, offense and defense, both sides of the football, he's making things happen. Keller will keep this one, calls his own number. Not much room there. He gets up near the 48-yard line, a gain of 3.
So the Viking offense finds itself in 3rd and long. Minute 33 to go on a running clock. Vikings trail 39-16 to the Spartans of Greenbrier East. And Brian, the Spartans came in here ready tonight. You can tell they'd watched some film. They had a game plan and they executed it well.
3rd and 15 from their own 48. Keller looking to throw. He has a little time, throws it, hit as he throws. Ball falls incomplete. It was intended for Connor Pritt down this near sideline, and we'll bring up 4th and 15.
So,
minute 10 remaining in the ball game.
See what the Vikings come up with here as the clock winds down to a minute to go.
They appear to be punting the football. We got a new punter out there. So it's Jackson Stover to punt it away.
Flag on the play.
There's a flag resting at the Viking 47.5-yard line.
I think they need to go to a brighter yellow on those flags.
Agreed. Right now, official standing at the 34. Greenbrier East 34. Personal foul, face mask, Greenbrier East, first down Vikings.
Well, here we go.
That's the break
There's
we've been waiting
on.
That's it. We got 63 seconds remaining. So
see if we can get this thing to the end zone.
That moves it to the Greenbrier East 37. Keller under pressure, Throws it, caught by his brother and out of bounds.
Probably done that out in the backyard a few times.
Time or two. Keller to Keller. That's a connection might be hearing over the next few years.
Clock continues to run as they move the chains.
Pritt back next year for the Vikings. Keller will tuck it. He has a lot of running room left side across the 20. Turns it up 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Wait, maybe. No signal yet. Touchdown, Vikings.
Whoa.
You know what that means.
Where's the gritty cane?
What we got, Phil? Here we go. We're looking. We're waiting. Let's get the cam ready.
Okay. Hey, will you point the camera at Phil in the field?
Oh, mountaintop. Where are we at, guys?
They're getting in position.
39-22 the score. And Mason Gandy in to attempt the extra point kick.
Mason Gandy sets the kickoff, kicks the extra point.
There's the snap placement down. Kick is up. Gandy's kick is good. Is it good for a gritty?
Oh,
39-23, Phil. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's my guy. That's my guy down there. Good run, Jeff, by Peyton Keller. I mean, he hit the corner and turned on the jets. Got down that sideline quickly for that touchdown.
He did. These kids come into this game, Brian, trying to make their mark at the varsity level, and he gets into the end zone, and the PAT kick also good.
They've both been banged up a little bit this year, both Keller boys, so good to see them back out on the field, and good to see Mason Gandy get the extra point kick. Jeff, last year we made one extra point. That hasn't been an issue this year. We've been knocking them down.
Yeah. Guys have done a good job. 39-23, our score, 22 seconds. We've got replay, and it is fantastic.
Good work, Phil.
Archive that, guys.
Christina's not going to speak to you for, I don't know, maybe at least a week. Wickline fields that one at the 20 and promptly takes a knee.
So it looks like Greenbrier East is going to roll into town here tonight and get their first victory of the season. The Vikings, after winning last week, getting their first win in St. Albans, just couldn't get it done. Couldn't sustain drives tonight, Brian. Couldn't get the plays, big plays made on the defense that they needed to stop Greenbrier East or get a turnover and a score quickly enough to get themselves back into this ball game.
Football at the 20. Tolliver and Bland in the backfield. Twins either side, low snap, hands it off to Bland. Breaks a Viking tackle right across the 20. And that'll probably, Jeff, be the final play of the ball game as we'll spot him out at the 22. Elijah Huffman on the stop, and that'll be it after the gain of 3 by Bland. And the Vikings, much better effort in the second half. Jeff is still going to come up short. 39-23, your final score. Will return with the WVU Medicine Jackson General Hospital countdown or post-game report after this, right here on C98, The Bull. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Senior night, and a sad one here tonight for 9 seniors, Jeff, as they play their final game here at Memorial Stadium. As I mentioned, going to the break, a lot better second half for the Vikings, but just dug too big of a hole in that first half and were unable to come back.
Yeah, Greenbrier East got things rolling, Brian, and kept the pedal to the metal in getting that big lead at the half. And I mean, we just had a very difficult time of slowing them down, and actually we didn't, especially in the first half, as they did it through the air, they did it on the ground. You know, they just special teams. We return a kickoff by D'Amico all the way for a touchdown, and they answer it on the next kickoff, and kind of set the tone throughout the first half. So tough night for these seniors on senior night. Last game of the season here at home, and we'll hit the road for the rest of the season.
465 yards of offense tonight for Greenbrier East on 58 plays. That's 8 yards per play. And that's most notedly, Jeff, going to net you a victory when you average 8 yards per play on offense.
Yeah, your odds are pretty good if you can move the football and have that kind of average per play. You know, this didn't look like a team coming in here tonight, Brian, that hadn't won a ball game. They've got some good young players out there. Their quarterback, Hamrick, Subtle, we talked about him, and you mix in the seniors, Hamilton and Wickline, along with the offensive line that is senior dominated. And you know, they were able to do what they wanted on the offensive side of the ball, and you're right, average that kind of number per play, you're going to win some ball games.
Viking run game shut down tonight, but Tyson Pritt, maybe the best night of his career, 11 of 25, 192 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception off of a tip ball, but I feel like he grew tonight, got better as he's still developing as a quarterback. And again, we have him back next year.
Yeah, he much better job in the pocket, showing patience. As we said at halftime, you know, he's a young quarterback who's learning each and every game, and we're seeing him be a little more patient in the pocket. You know, we talked about needing to work probably a little bit on seeing what you got, and if you don't have anything, getting rid of it and not taking a loss, or you know, trying to force something in there that's not there. But yes, good job by Pritt here tonight throwing the football.
Vikings fall to 1-7 on the season, Jeff. 2 left, both on the road. Final game here tonight at Memorial Stadium. Our next broadcast will be at Shady Spring next Friday night. We'll take the trip, find a good spot to eat, and hopefully get a victory down there. That's another game that the Vikings, if they show up and play, they'll have an opportunity to win, even though it's on the road.
Yeah, you look at the rest of the season, and you do have some opportunities to get some W's on the road, and that's, you know, if we're going to get through this season and improve, well, that's exactly where we're going to have to do it, is on the road. So looking forward to going to Shady Springs next week. Not really.
I knew you were going to say. We're not really looking forward to it. We're happy to be there and bring you Viking action. But
I'd rather them come here. But
much rather them come here. Jeff, this is our last football broadcast with Mountaintop. Thank you guys. What a great job you did all season long. The replay is fantastic. And just we appreciate you guys being with us, and we'll catch you again during basketball season, which is creeping up on us as well.
I tell you who appreciates those kids. They can come back and watch themselves, their families, you know. It's great to see yourself on TV.
I'm sure they get tired of listening to my ignorance throughout the season, but, you know, we do appreciate these guys being here and doing what they do. They're the best in the business. We're lucky to have them. We're lucky to be a part of all of that. Our next broadcast of Viking football next Friday night, as Jeff said, down at Shady Spring, the WVU Medicine-Jackson General Hospital countdown to kickoff will begin at 7. That game set to kick off at 7:30 from Shady Spring High School. Thank you to all of our sponsors of Viking football all season long on C98 The Bull. Special thanks to Rick Shannon, our station manager. and Jennifer Redmond back at Viking control. Your final score from Memorial Stadium, Greenbrier East 39, the Vikings 23. For Jeff Waybright, I'm Brian Johnson, and our main man, Phil Iman. Thanks for being with us. Have a good night, and God bless.